There's the heart. It's normally not this red in all the other cats, okay? There is the aortic arch. See it? That aortic arch comes out of the left ventricle, loops over, passes down behind the heart, and goes all the way down to the diaphragm. Passes through the diaphragm to become the abdominal aorta. So this is the descending thoracic. Okay? On its way down, it gives off some little tiny intercostal arteries. See those? Run between each rib. Now, up here on the top, in kitty cats, there are two arteries that come off of the aorta. The left subclavian. The left subclavian comes up, passes through the chest wall to become the axillary. The axillary goes on down to become the brachial. Okay? The brachiocephalic artery is the big one. It comes up and makes a turkey foot. See that turkey foot? The turkey foot is the left carotid, the right carotid, and the right subclavian. The right subclavian passes through the chest wall to become the axillary, to become the brachial. You good? Now, that arterial blood that we sent out between those ribs from those intercostal arteries, we've got to pick that blood up. We pick that blood up in the azygous vein. And the azygous vein is way back here on the chest wall. See it way back there? See that big blue vein? That's the azygous. It picks up that intercostal blood, brings it up, and dumps it into the superior vena cava right before it goes into the heart. See it? The superior vena cava comes up out of the heart, splits into the two brachiocephalic veins. This was brachiocephalic artery. These V are the brachiocephalic veins. The brachiocephalic veins split into the jugular and the subclavian. That's the left side. Over here is the jugular going up on the right side, and the subclavian has been broken over there. But it would make a fork right there and go out.
That's why he's dead.
And the subclavian comes out, becomes the axillary, that becomes the brachial veins. Okay? Now, that aorta passes down through the diaphragm. And that's the diaphragm. See that diaphragm? That's the diaphragm. The aorta passes through it right there. See where it comes through? The first branch that it gives off is the celiac, and it goes to the stomach. The second branch that it gives off is the superior mesenteric, and it goes to the mesentery. And this is the mesentery. See all of this? So that superior mesenteric is all of those blood vessels going out to those intestines. The aorta then goes on down and gives off a renal artery. You got to turn that dude over so you can see him. See the renal artery goes out to the kidney. Then it goes on down, the aorta does, and gives off the inferior mesenteric. And the inferior mesenteric just goes to that mesentery right here of the descending colon. So it's much smaller. The aorta then splits into the two iliac arteries. The two iliacs pass through the abdominal wall and become the femoral arteries. The vena cava, the inferior vena cava, gives off a renal vein. It comes all the way down, splits into the two iliac veins, and then goes through the abdominal wall to become the femoral veins. We don't have a superior and inferior mesenteric vein going to the vena cava because that's part of our hepatic portal system. Remember that? picks all this blood up from the intestine and takes it up to the liver to be processed. And you had a picture of that. Y'all good?